people have shared visions of what lies beyond death, but one story stands above them all. 7 minutes after everything stopped, he returned with a message, so powerful that he refused to reveal it until the very end, a message so heavy and precise that even the doctors couldn't explain it. And they wondered how he came back carrying something that heavy. Before we understand the message, we must go back to the moment everything shifted, the moment reality cracked open and pulled him somewhere new, somewhere no human is ever prepared to go. If this is your first time here, please subscribe.
Your support means a lot to me.
Because beyond light and darkness lay something different, something that confronted him instantly, without warning, and it showed no mercy as it observed him. Like something that knew him completely the moment he crossed over, and from that moment on, nothing moved slowly again, because one ordinary moment twisted into something impossible, and there, time thinned around him like a worn fabric, and the world froze as if someone pressed pause on existence, while sound collapsed into a deep, unnatural silence, a silence that felt too intentional to be an accident. And just before he knew it, something opened behind him, not a doorway, but a pull with no shape, no voice, and no explanation. Yet, there was terrifying certainty in that force, because it didn't drag or push, it simply claimed him. That was when he realized that the resistance was impossible, and he was already leaving everything familiar behind. The departure was not slow, it was instant. The world he knew dissolved like smoke, and then it was replaced by a strange, weightless clarity until only a strange living hum remained, and he realized there was no way back. And then a warm pull formed behind him. Subtle at first, then it became unmistakably intentional. Because it wasn't calling him back, it was guiding him forward. Ahead of him a faint glow shimmered, as if it felt like something aware of his arrival, and then it unfolded into a corridor of living light. It pressed gently against the edges of his awareness. Suddenly his entire life appeared before him, as the memories surfaced around him like reflections on water, where victories appeared beside his failures, and pride stood beside his deepest regrets, until none of them spoke, yet all demanded to be seen. So, he acknowledged each one with a heavy heart, while the corridor narrowed, guiding him toward a single destination. Then the pull behind him became a gentle push, like it was firm, but not forceful, just like a guide, until he wasn't walking anymore. He was being carried, because he sensed something ancient waiting for him, not just watching, but expecting, as if his arrival had been planned long before he existed. And immediately, the corridor burst open into a vast expanse, a place that felt infinite yet incredibly intimate, while shapes moved in the distance, observing him, and they were not human and not threatening, but they watched him with ancient curiosity. And then, the hum intensified, pulling him toward the center with a gravity that wasn't physical, until a column of light rose before him, a column that twisted like a living flame, and it obeyed no natural law of man, because it wasn't warm or cold, it was different, something like truth made visible. Truth without distortion and without mercy. Truth that demanded to be faced. So, he knew stepping closer would change everything, yet he couldn't stop moving toward it. Because something in the expanse wanted him there, and, as he approached, a presence filled the entire expanse, until every memory of his life surfaced instantly, yet nothing was hidden. It pressed against him with intention, not to harm him, but to reveal him. So all his memories rose in perfect clarity, though not to condemn him, but to confront him with himself, until nothing could be denied. Yet, it wasn't angry, nor was it gentle, but it was something far more powerful and far more beautiful, something that knew him completely. Because every choice, every motive, every secret was known, and still it called him closer. And then the column shifted, opening like a doorway, and a figure stepped forward, wrapped in radiance. A figure that defied any description he could give, because the presence intensified within the space. It was love and judgment intertwined, and the power of that presence shook him to his core, until he couldn't speak, because the moment was too heavy. Words were not enough for this. And then the figure stopped just a breath away and reached out a hand toward him. At that particular moment, something ancient ignited inside him. Purpose, calling, identity, all became clear. Then the message came, with a voice that shook existence itself. "You are not finished," it said. "I still have purpose for you." And then the expanse shattered into light. He was pulled backward like a falling star, and he raced through everything he had seen until the presence faded away and the glow vanished into the distance. While the world he left rushed back with blinding speed, and the message burned inside him like fire. Because it was not a memory, it was a mission. And now the hospital room snapped back into focus as he took his first breath of air in 7 minutes. The doctor rushed to his side in disbelief, and he looked at her with eyes that had seen the infinite. The doctor knew something was different about him, because it is strange, but the message was heavy and precise, and he refused to speak of it at first. He needed time to process the experience, because the weight of it overwhelmed him. And what he had seen changed everything. The doctor checked the heart monitors again, because everything was perfectly normal, yet impossible, as if reality had just been reset. Because she had never seen anything like it before, not in her entire career. So she knew she had witnessed a miracle. The man's name was Elias, the man who came back carrying the message we have been waiting for. And the message was finally ready to be shared, because at first he was weak and confused, but something inside him had changed forever, and he knew what he had to do. So the journey was only beginning, and the reason for his return would soon be revealed, a reason that could change everything.